Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on wherever in the world you are watching this from. So I'm Chris Boyle, Practice Director for Identity and Access Management at Turnkey Consulting. Thank you for taking the time to join us on what is day 2 of our Risk Management Summit. I hope you've managed to join us yesterday, where we had some great sessions focused on risk management from some amazing speakers, and are also able to join tomorrow for the final day, where the topics will focus on operational challenges and the future of securing the enterprise. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing the sessions and our fantastic lineup of speakers on today's topics, which are broadly focused around maintaining control of the enterprise. In line with the current pandemic situation, we will be looking at how we maintain control of the enterprise in the midst of a pandemic, what impact this has had, what challenges need to be overcome, and on a more positive note, when we look at what opportunities have been presented to it. So throughout the day, we have exciting speakers from some of our partners and some of our clients on some real-world issues and challenges faced both by businesses and their users in today's ever-changing climate. And I will introduce each of these sessions in due course. So I know that currently we're in the middle of a pandemic, which I don't want to focus on too much itself, but rather the unique impact or perfect storm, you might say, it has had on business, having been described as a once-in-a-generation event. I mean, I've certainly not seen anything have such a swift an impact on businesses like this in my 20 years consulting in identity management. I mean, what it has done is affect not only people's lives, health, and the economic climate, but literally overnight has changed the way that companies do business. They have had to adapt to new working practices and environments, and they have had to do this in a very agile manner, having to literally change the way they work from one day to the next, not over a multi-year digital transformation project as would normally have happened. I mean, when we speak to our clients, it is truly amazing some of the things that they have done in the space of a few weeks. They've implemented solutions in days, not weeks, weeks, not months. Some of the progress that we've witnessed has been absolutely outstanding. But this has also introduced new risks. So keeping within the theme, how do you maintain control in a pandemic? Well, the answer is, in short, you can't really control it, so what you have to do is adapt to it. So what are the challenges? Well, companies have always strived to be more efficient, more effective, more secure, and provide a better user experience. But right now, they're having to do this quickly, all amidst the background of creating a new dynamic workforce, with workers being at home or even possibly furloughed. There's the inability to travel to consider, while still having to satisfy their compliance and governance requirements and maintain control in this constantly evolving landscape. As if this level of change wasn't enough, the cyber threat actors adapted swiftly, with cyber criminals using the pandemic as an additional attack surface, as more people are logging in remotely. And as a result, phishing attack scams targeted at home users, home workers, masquerading as government agencies, financial institutions, and trying to use multiple means to gather up corporate passwords, adding additional risk to companies globally. And we say corporate passwords because people tend to use their corporate password also as personal passwords as well. So there is a session on that tomorrow, which will go into more detail, but again, adding that additional risk. So all of this in a world of economic uncertainty, which results in a tightening of belts and therefore more budgetary constraints on IT departments the world over. IT departments, alongside all other areas of the business, are having to make sacrifices to be able to deliver operations and keep the lights on. These sacrifices are not necessarily always monetary. In order to provide services to people working from home, security can often be overlooked. To simply get things to work so people can actually do their day jobs. Access to systems may be provided in a riskier way than would typically be allowed in normal circumstances. Governance controls and time-consuming business processes may be overlooked or circumvented in the interest of efficiency, or again, getting people working, enabling them to do the jobs. So users might not have access to everything they need to do their jobs, or conversely, given too much access so that they can get the job done. Companies might have to instruct more third parties to be utilised quickly to help bridge the gaps left by the turmoil of lockdown. perhaps through furlough or self-isolation, causing the standard workforce to be reduced. Global operations are also being asked to pick up more of the strain as different countries suffer at different rates and therefore have to help alleviate the impact on businesses in different territories. Staff may inadvertently be able to download corporate data onto BYOD devices, so data governance is moved up the list of priorities. And more data than ever will need to be kept on employees and staff for health reasons, etc., which again may lead to data privacy concerns in the future. So lots of these challenges are not new to business, but essentially what COVID has done is to bring all of these challenges around business continuity to bear all at once, thus adjusting and potentially reducing the risk posture of an organisation, which might not even be fully understood until the dust has settled and that things start to return to some semblance of what we used to call normal. All of these challenges have to be addressed while also reducing the amount of money and resources that are available by businesses to be spent helping mitigate against them. With the economy contracting 20%, that means that all areas of the business are having to become much, much more efficient and immediately. Although what we are seeing is lots of challenges that are being faced, what we also have is opportunity. An opportunity to be more efficient, be more effective, implement technology and automate processes to help people drive the business forward. That gives us the opportunity to adapt, automate, streamline. People can work from home, which means less travel time. This can be used to be more productive. When implementing new controls or new systems that allow automation, make the user's life easier so that they can focus on the job that they are there to do. They're not having to carry out compliance tasks, manual tasks that could potentially eat into their productivity. So lastly, we have seen how quickly people have started to use video conferencing as a way of life. I mean, you know, how many Zoom or team meetings have you been involved in the last 12 weeks, not only at work, but also in personal lives, communicating with family and things like that. And this just shows how quickly people can adapt to working from home and demonstrates how quickly people adapt to the new ways of working. So in my opinion, I think no longer should businesses feel the need to hide behind that. You know, a transition phase will take time, the business will take time to adapt. We should roll out slowly kind of mentality. We should use the momentum that we have, that we've seen during the pandemic, to mold the working practices and technologies to making people's working lives easier. But at the same time, we could do that in the context of making things much more secure. Remember, people only circumvent processes that are difficult and cumbersome. If the official way is the easiest way, then people will take the easiest route. This allows you to enforce your business processes, information security policies, reduce your risk, improve your security, and make people happier and more efficient at the same time. So, although these are difficult times, there are opportunities that we should look at to leverage as best we can. And on that note, it's time for me to introduce today's sessions that can help you adapt more easily as a business to overcome some of the challenges and see the opportunities with real-world examples, user stories, and insights from some of our partners and clients. So our first session at 11 a.m, we have Michael Heckner from our partners at SAP, exploring how using a new risk management approach and SAP solutions to establish multiple lines of defense can help you move towards an integrated risk, controls, and audit management in a world of what we have said has uncertainty, but ultimately opportunity. Next up, we have the first of our live Q&A sessions where we have our very own Richard Hunt and Dirk Tell from Imperial Brands, one of the FTSE 100. We will be taking questions on how best to adapt internal controls for the evolving workings that we have all been forced to adapt to, and how can automation help with that. As we mentioned earlier, the speed at which COVID-19 has forced organisational change is unprecedented. And with the rush to implement new technologies, such as track and trace, and organisations collecting much more sensitive health-related information about its employees, well, has enough been done to protect the privacy of the subjects of that data, i.e. you and me? Why not join us at the second of our live Q&As, where Richard will be joined by Marcus Evans, one of the partners at Norton Rose Fulbright, one of the world's largest law firms, to present a session and take your questions on all things data privacy. Following that, we have today's first case study by Susie Montague, who is the Finance Governance Lead at Horizon, Australia's largest rail freight operator and a top ASX 50 company, who will be discussing their GRC journey, what their motivations and visions were, and what they learned along the way, and also what they'll do differently if they had to do it all over again. Hopefully, a great help for anyone attending who is about to embark on any form of GRC journey. For our final session, a topic close to my heart in identity management, we have Mark Aldroyd from SailPoint, one of our key partners, talking about why having a single view of access across your entire organization is important, how best it can be both achieved and maintained through automation of your business processes that will become the foundation of any governance, risk and compliance journey. So just before I finish up, I'd like to give a special mention to two of the sessions available tomorrow from our identity partners. We have George, the CEO of Hyper, talking about what I see is one of the biggest cyber risks to an organization, the password store, and the reuse of passwords, people using the same passwords for both their personal and business lives, and why the future involves removal of this risk and going passwordless. And following on the same theme, we also have Dan Latimer from CyberArk with a session on how to reduce operational risk and protect your crown jewels by implementing privileged access management and providing a much better user experience, while at the same time increasing the control that you have over your landscape, whether it's on-premise or in the cloud. Well, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed our session today and the rest of the conference. Remember that if you want to register to participate in any of the sessions today or tomorrow, then you can still register at the website. And just a reminder that all sessions will be recorded, so you can watch them on demand at your leisure after the conferences have ended, if for any reason you didn't manage to catch them live. So thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly with the details on the screen now. I hope you have a great day, stay safe, and have a great conference. Thank you.